How's it going? It's Nathan Hawken here, and welcome to the video. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about how to deal with setbacks. But how to deal with setbacks in a way where we can actually turn them into something good rather than being the worst thing that could ever happen to us. I mean, setbacks are one of those things which are going to happen inevitably. We can plan intricately when we're working on a project and we're trying to run a company, but there's so many things which are outside of our control that even though we can try and factor them into our plan as much as possible, there can always be some type of setback which is going to knock us around a little bit or take us off our track. Now, this applies to everyone. This applies to C-level executives, managers, people who are just showing up to work on a day-to-day basis. We can have some type of setback in our life, in our career, which can have the power to really throw us off track and send us down into a spiral, or we can actually utilize it to turn it into something that's good, that helps us get back on track, and that we can turn into something that's going to be more beneficial for us in the long run. Setbacks typically arise unexpectedly, or even if we were thinking about them, they happen when we least want them to. But the thing we have to realize is that for the most part, the setbacks at which we face, the challenges that we face, tend to be out of our control. The Stoics believe that there's only so many things in our life that we can't control. In fact, there's really only one thing that we can control, and that's ourselves. Everything out in the external world, externally outside of us, we have no control over. And that is so true when it comes to how we deal with setbacks as well. We can't stop something happening. We can't stop everything from happening to us. We can plan well and try to avoid certain circumstances of things from happening to avoid these type of setbacks. But the reality is that all we can ever really do is plan as best as possible and face the setbacks or the challenges when they come in the best possible way, realizing that we're always going to be equipped to be able to handle them when the challenges come. Because ultimately, the thing which determines the severity of any type of setback or challenge in your business, in your team, in your life, is our reaction to the setback itself, our reaction to the challenge. Because any challenge really has the power to totally take us off rails, send us into a spiral loop and ending up in the bottom of the pit in a terrible place. But it doesn't have to be like that. We always have a choice to react in a way that's going to serve us rather than stop us. And that's what this video is about. I just wanted to share with you a couple of things which I believe will help when you face these setbacks. I've had my fair share of setbacks in my life. I face them still to this day, as we always do. One thing I've learned over the years is that how I respond to it is ultimately going to dictate where I'm at and what I can do next. But I've also learned a couple of things along the way which has helped me with every time I've had a setback. Because life isn't always going to be on your terms. Everything you do isn't always going to be on your terms. There's too many moving pieces with the more people and the more things that we're doing that we have to realize that the control that we have over it will always come down to ourselves. And that's ultimately what these next couple of things are going to be about. It's about what you can do. 3 very simple things that you can do to assist you to get past any type of setback with ease, well, with a degree of ease, to move forward. And so with the first one, this is something I've learned and I've coached my clients about very often, is that you need to be able to give yourself time to feel the setback. So what do I mean by that? So recently I had a coaching call with a client of mine, and one of the things we keep talking about is, well, one of the things that gets brought up is how do we avoid feeling a certain way? Because we hear a lot of speak about always be happy, be positive thinking, and all those type of things, and all that's well and good, but we have to realize that we have these emotions for a reason, and at times we have to feel them. You know, we have to feel pissed off sometimes. We have to feel sad sometimes. We have to feel down sometimes. We have to feel stressed sometimes. It's not so much avoiding these feelings, it's accepting that they're part of us. It's understanding that it's a natural side of us, and the more we suppress it, the more they're going to come out in bigger quantities later on. So the first thing, anytime a setback comes, is you got to give yourself that time and space to be able to feel what you're currently feeling. I call this a grieving period. It's like maybe you're going for a promotion, but you missed out on someone else, and that's your setback. So ultimately you get like frustrated, pissed off, maybe even down on yourself. Like, what could I have done differently? I'm so crap, I'm just not a good person, all these type of things, these negative self-talks which pop up. So we have to give ourselves time to go through that grieving type of process. We have to feel what we need to feel. Understand those emotions are there for a reason, but we just can't let them dominate what we do as a result after that. So you always have to give yourself that time and space to feel it. And I said that to my client when she said, "Oh, I've been feeling so down and so upset on myself and I've been feeling really frustrated." I said, "Good. Feel that. Allow yourself that time to feel it and ask yourself the question, why am I feeling this right now? Where is this coming from?" Typically, those type of questions will bring up something inside you which will be part of the solution, and it will help you take those steps moving forward. The next part of it is to ask yourself a very deep question. And it's, okay, this setback has happened. This is how I feel. What can I learn from this? That question alone will take your mind out of looking at the problem, looking at the setback, looking at how you're feeling, to more of a solution focused. So if you ask yourself what you can learn from the situation, then you're arming yourself with tools to be able to handle the next setback when it arises, which it inevitably will. But because you're asking this question and because you're raising your awareness to a point where you're starting to understand more about yourself, you're better equipping yourself to be able to handle the challenges that come up next in life. So it's a very powerful question. What can I learn from this experience? And whatever those answers come up for you, write them down and make them part of your being moving forward. And then lastly, and this is probably my favorite one, is it's like, how do we turn this crap into gold? And you do that by asking yourself another question. It's like, how can I turn this experience, how can I turn this setback, how can I turn this challenge into something good? Get yourself in a service-oriented mindset. For me, when I have a setback in my life, I come back to doing content, I come back to service. What can I do? I like to use my experiences as a way to serve others. And so if you develop that, if you ask yourself, how can I turn this into something good? You'll surprise yourself with the answers which come up. Mine is to go out and serve someone so powerfully that I'm no longer thinking about my setback, I'm focused on the other, and I've also done some good by helping some other person get past their setbacks. Yours might be something different. It could be, how can I go out and share this experience with someone? Maybe I can just go out and buy someone a coffee today and make them feel better, which will ultimately make me feel better, and so I can focus on my next steps. It's going to be different for you, but that's a very powerful question. Is what can I do to turn this into something good? Who can I serve right now? What can I do that will make a difference in someone's life? Once you've got that answer and you take an action step to go do it, you will realize that suddenly your problems, they're not as strong as they were. And more importantly, you've actually turned a setback you've had into something that's been good, not just for you, but for society as a whole by serving someone else. Now, there's a whole bunch of other things we could do, but really it's very simple. And I want you to keep this in mind, is the longer you spend on the setback itself and the challenge you've had, the harder it's going to be to get yourself out of it. So the best thing you can do is focus on those three things. Give yourself time and space to feel what you need to feel and grieve. Ask yourself what you can learn from the experience, and then how can you turn that into something good? When you take these 3 steps, you'll realize that you're ready for the next challenge to come and you can focus more on the solution. Now, I hope this video has helped. If you're someone who is looking to create an impact in this world, is looking to create a vision or has a purpose you're working towards, but realizes a few things which are holding you back or you need some clarity around that, then reach out to me and let me know, because I've opened up a few sessions to dedicate specifically to this. These are 2-hour in-depth coaching sessions, and so if that's of interest to you, reach out at any stage. Now, I hope this video has helped. Good luck with your setbacks moving forward, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.